Nothing Worthwhile, the recognized symbol of excellence in crappy podcasting.
Colby Covington has described you as a pathetic excuse of a human being.
Hey, how many? Let me see. You guys Colby fans in here? Give me a show of hands. You guys, let me give you some facts on Colby. Colby is an utter piece of shit.
What do you know about facts? You can't even read, bro.
Explain to Colby what Colby is. If you know Colby on a personal level, he fucked over everybody he fucking knows. And I take Colby as a personal insult to me. Because the Trumpsters, the Republicans, you guys are my fucking people. The blue-collar workers, you guys are my fucking people. And you have a cunt like Colby, come in here and taking up the banner. He don't give a fuck about you. And him making fun of Leon's dad, that is the biggest fucking cunt move you can do. That is the biggest move to do. Leon's mom, dad, bad guy, good guy, doesn't fucking matter. He raised the boy. She raised the boy to be a fucking man, to win a title, to be a good man. And a real fucking American would applaud him for that. They wouldn't tear him down for that. So just so you know, Colby is a fake fucking pussy. And if he was standing here right next to me, the only fucking thing he would do is call 911 because he is the definition of a fucking bitch.
Question for Ilya Paturia.
A fresh pepper?
Oh, sure.
All right. Say when?
When?
A grazie. A fresh pepper?
Just a little bit.
All right.
That's good.
A grazie. All right. Now, Carlo, come here. You see what I do that time with the pepper? You see what I do with the pepper?
Yes, Signor Marco.
The people, they want the pepper. All right, you understand?
Fresh pepper.
Yes, very good, very good. Someday, Carlo, you will be a pepper boy. And you see that the man right there? Yeah.
Big, fat, bushy beard.
Big, fat, bushy beard. He like a 3 twists of pepper. 3? 3. No, making me proud. Eh?
Fresh pepper.
Why, yes! 夢は夢なんかじゃない。夢のコラボだ。
クリマス、パーティー、ハンバーグラー。
そしてゴジラが。
ついにベアブリックに。
欲しい。限定は限定なんですよ。これどこで買うんでしょうね、これ。
アプリで抽選販売。
商品応募準備。
祈りましょう。
マクドナルド限定夢のベアブリック。
皆さん応募しましょうや。
トロトトト。
In a world filled with danger,
For the love of God!
where tables, ladders, and chairs wreak unspeakable havoc,
I have never seen carnage like this!
one man always rises to the top.
You're looking at the man right here!
He's fearless. He's relentless. He's Canadian. He's Edge.
The champ is here!
In less than 2 weeks, the master of the TLC
Rated R! Superstar!
will remain WWE Champion,
And you better get used to it!
while John Cena will remain unforgiven.
Down goes Cena! Down goes Cena! Down goes Cena!
Indeed, seasoned greetings and welcome to Nothing Worthwhile, episode 116. A happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas to everybody and an impending New Year's. On today's show, we're doing our third watch-along. It's 2006. It's Unforgiven. It's the challenger John Cena going up against the WWE champion in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. Oh my! We'll check out the latest in the Nothing Worthwhile universe with the week that was. Plus, we'll give you one thing you should be watching this week. Most folks will be getting some time off at this time of the year, so they'll have plenty of time to sit on their couch and watch our recommendations. Well, hi, I'm Evan Moody in a rainy and chilly Phoenix, Arizona. He's Andrew Gruthius with the Snowbirds, live from Coconut Creek, Florida. Andrew, how the hell are you, my friend?
Yeah, the Snowbirds have invaded. But they're welcome, as is everybody in the great state of Florida. I'm doing just fine. Yes, this is actually technically my first day of vacation. So I am.
Me too.
I am nice and relaxed and ready to roll. And speaking of Unforgiven, I think that was the name of the club I was at last night. So I'm looking forward to doing this. Yeah, thanks for going with me on that one. Thank you, I appreciate it.
I said any updates on the clubbing? I don't know.
No, the clubbing is limited to. I usually just make it from my bed to the bathroom. That's about, club toilet, club juicy. I don't know. No, I don't really. It's listen. I'm 48 years old. I'm 20 years past my midlife crisis. So I'm just, I don't know. I enjoy the quiet. Have I become a senior citizen way too early in life? I don't know, maybe, but everything's fine. Everything's fine. The weather here, I think it's okay. I haven't seen the sun today.
Here we go. It's the grittiest shtick. Meanwhile, when I try to get him, he's like, I won't be home till 10 o'clock at night.
That is untrue. Well, maybe it is.
Well,
yeah, You're right. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, for someone who's not busy at all, I sure am a busy guy. It's really weird.
Well, that's good. That's good. Do you have any plans for the 2-week break?
Absolutely none. So I'm sure I'll have no time to talk to you.
Absolutely.
for some reason. No, I actually don't have any concrete plans for anything. I'm just gonna sort of take it as it comes, and I know there'll be people scattered around, visitors from out of town who have alerted me to their arrival. So I'm sure I'll have some friendly faces to see, and but yeah, nothing really planned. So. And I like it like that.
All right, good. Yeah, same thing here. Not much going on.
Oh, there's some planning going on over there. Don't you try to fool me.
Well,
I haven't checked my mailbox today yet.
Well, you probably will be getting some stuff in the mail, but we got an Airbnb for Christmas because the family is so. Oh, hello, Braxton.
That's not what I was talking about. I was talking about your upcoming nuptials.
Well, I mean, we could certainly. Well, I mean, nobody cares about that, but
are you kidding?
Yeah, we're all.
You told me last week that today you had to squeeze this in at 10, and you have a hard out at 12 because you have to go look at flowers. You told me that.
No. That's.
I'm lying.
I apologize.
We're going. No, I'm lying. He didn't tell me that. I was just making it up.
She took care. No, I'm not. I'm not.
Oh, you get to sit it all out. You don't have to make any decisions.
She's pretty much running the show. The only thing I went to, ironically enough, was the cake tasting.
Ooh.
That I was looking forward to.
You didn't invite me down for that? I would have been there in a second.
Oh, you would have loved it. You would have loved it. We had this private bakery in Chandler, Arizona, to ourselves, and so they have an agreement with the venue. So we got this package where it's like everything's covered. So it's more expensive. About going to this vendor, everything's sort of done for you. So they made an appointment. We went down, and this young lady brought out little pieces of cake, and we tried it, and pretty much I said, well, whatever she wants is fine with me. And and that's how that's how it went.
You said the magic words, young ladies with cake, and that's what else is there?
That was one of my favorite videos back in the day. Can
the young lady come to the wedding and serve me? No, that's bad. That's terrible.
Well, we could probably work something out. Actually, ironically enough, young ladies with cake. That sounds like an illicit. Let's get right to. Let's get to 5 things. Well, more things that we're talking about this week.
5 things we're watching this week.
Yes, let's get to Nothing Worthwhile, the week that was.
Sorry, I've had a little bit of eggnog this morning. I'm just kidding.
Here we go.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
He's on a yes. We had a management had to speak to him.
Human resources was knocking on the door.
He's like the Artie Lang of Nothing Worthwhile, out of control on the last podcast. Did you hear the comments you made about my dogs?
No, I don't. I don't normally listen. I don't normally listen back to.
I didn't listen to that one.
That's that's only because I don't like hearing my voice. But I don't remember. What did I say about your dogs?
Oh, you're gonna like chop them up into little pieces. And,
I did not say that. I said I was going to spoon with them when I come tomorrow. When I come in March.
Oh well, in that case, yeah, you'll be into that, right, Braxton? All right, let's go hit the clip, Andy.
Which one? Oh, we're going into no. We're going into the thing.
Yeah, the week that was. Let's go right into it.
Oh, that. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I mean, you didn't say, but now I will.
I apologize.
New You Life Center presents Nothing Worthwhile, the week that was.
All right, indeed, the week that was is brought to you by New You Life Center. Begin a new you. Well, certainly we got New Year's and New Year's resolutions. Andrew, I know you're not a big fan of New Year's resolutions. Are you? Do you have anything you're hoping for in the new year? All right, we'll move on. Thank you.
I didn't say move on.
No, I mean, I know you're not a big resolution guy, so...
no, I don't make resolutions. There are things that I hope for, like peace on earth and goodwill towards men, but, you know, as far as personal, goals, every day I have to tell myself, okay, tomorrow I'm going to do better, so
hey, listen, me too.
A new day resolution is what it needs to be.
New You, check out their medical weight loss programs at www.newlifecenters.com or give them a call, 602-274-0068. Tell them that Moody Grew sent you and receive a big 15% off your first service. Dr. Cynthia was in the office yesterday. Marie got a chance to see her.
Is that the one that gave me the thing on the face?
That was Marie, and then I think her daughter Erica might have worked with you a little bit.
No. Oh, I mean the woman I met with afterwards. Remember?
That was probably Dr. Cynthia. Yes, okay. Had to be Dr. Cynthia. All right. Anyway, we talked about young lady. Yeah, she is wonderful. All right, Gru, I know you're not a big... Well, let's just talk about it. Fine. Yeah. I know you're not... We've talked about once in a while the issue of pornography, and you're not a big watcher or anything like that, but have you ever heard of the website Pornhub?
Yes.
Okay.
It's on on the list of things we're not allowed to... Yeah, I'm aware of porn.
To talk about?
No.
Well, can we talk?
We're not allowed. It's on the list of things we're not allowed to show in class.
Well, obviously, clearly, that would be.
But yes, I'm familiar. Yes, I'm familiar with porn.
All right, so they unveiled their unveiled. I think I had that for dinner. Unveil with. All right. Anyway, they unveiled their top searches of 2023, exposing pretty much the world's X-rated viewing habits. Despite the planet's obsession with youth, it appears many porn watchers are secretly scouring the web for content featuring those of a more mature age. The mature category, Gru, is now the 7th most viewed worldwide. Searches with the word granny and gilf, a grandma I'd like to, spiked by a significant 168%. Also, terms like big, bigger, and biggest collectively grew 177% worldwide. Let's see here. The top 20 countries by traffic. What do you think was the number one country that trafficked in porn searches according to Pornhub?
I'm going to say India.
Wow, it was the United States by far.
Really?
The top 5 countries trafficking in porn searches.
Why would I think India?
I'm not sure, but the United States, followed by the Philippines, France, Mexico, and the UK.
Ooh la la, France. Good for them.
Let's see here, and then one other thing. And then in terms of the U.S. crew, Maryland had the longest visit on average, lasting 11 minutes and 31 seconds, while Louisiana residents seemed to indulge in a quickie, just taking in 8 minutes and 21 seconds for an average visit. Pornhub also revealed that Americans are lasting longer on their site, with an average length of site visit up 16 seconds from incredible the data
That's
that Pornhub
fantastic.
has.
That's great. We're getting better.
I know.
We're lasting longer.
Americans now browse and watch an average of 9 minutes and 51 seconds per session. Grew, our home states of New York, Arizona, and Florida did not make any lists.
That's impossible.
Maybe that's good. I'm looking at it right now.
My building alone has to.
Grew, any thoughts on the mathematical statistics of Pornhub for 2023?
Well, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, there's so much more available, and people are doing these things who didn't used to do them. Like, there are people with law degrees who realize that they can make a lot more money, staying in their home, not even having to do anything with anybody. So there are so many platforms and so many ways to get to people. And I would say that it doesn't surprise me that the usage spans all ages. You would think as you would get older, it would be less, but I think it makes sense that it's actually higher as you get older, because think about it.
Really?
Yeah, and here's my. You
don't think people you don't think guys and even girls slow down a little bit as they get older?
Well, number one, it's guys who are watching porn. I don't think girls watch a lot of porn. I could be wrong about that, but I would think this is
okay.
Mostly guys. But no, I don't think that your desire wanes as you get older. But here's the thing, okay? If you're you said it to me one time many years ago. No, you're gonna like this. You said to me, I remember we were either walking in the Roosevelt Field Mall or wherever the hell we were. You just blurted it out, and it was like, you said, Gru, in college, you can get laid if you're like deaf, dumb, and blind. And I'm like, that sounds great. Now, can we go to Sam Goody and get the new Ghostbusters soundtrack? But that's the thing. So if you're that age and you're that, and you're in college or you're a teenager or whatever, and you're at the time in your life where you can literally go out and pretty much 50% of the people out there, you can probably do what I don't know, I don't want to get in trouble, but I'm just saying that sex and that kind of stuff is much more readily available to people in their, late teens into, I guess, through their, 26, 27, maybe till 30. So it's the people who, when they get married and when they grow older and that kind of thing is not, within striking distance, that's when you turn to Pornhub. Do you see my logic there?
Are you saying like a couple that's together for a long time and things level off, and the guy, the wife leaves for the 2-day trip, and we shut the blinds, and
yes, he wants some variety. He wants just to see. Yeah,
this is what we do. We shut the blinds. I go into my inner vault. I
didn't
close
say
that
that's
door.
What we do. I just said that's why I think the numbers are the way they are.
And I have a secondary door that I close. I go into the inner center. I'm literally 100 feet. I'm in the hollow earth with Godzilla at this point, But
if you see my logic, that's what I think. Because I don't think a lot of young people do porn. They don't watch porn. That's the weird thing that I'm hearing about these days.
See, I actually disagree. First of all, that's typical Andy Gruthius logic. It's like,
what do you mean?
He could have basically said it in listen. I'm setting up a joke, but he could have said it in 3 sentences, and he just went on a 15-minute exposition about Pornhub and searches and stuff like that. No, I think it is readily available, and I think more and more kids are watching it. And I don't want to sound like an old fogey, but I don't think it's necessarily a good thing. I'm not against it per se. I mean, I grew up 70s and 80s when it was really starting to explode, no pun intended. But the accessibility is such now, and I think between that, and I did see something on the news about online dating. I think it's I think it's not a great trend. And ironically enough, I met Marie through online dating, but I just think it's easier for people to stay home.
Nobody do this, but the woman I'm marrying in a couple months, I met her on online.
No, I didn't say
Nobody
that.
else ever do that.
I didn't.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm not saying that.
It was a funny
I'm saying
segue.
is, I saw somebody talking about it on YouTube where it used to be, let's say maybe in the 80s or 90s, most people met through work, most people met through friends or social interactions, and now it's online, and you can make a sort of a causal relationship with pornography online. It's just people are more and more isolated, and yeah, you don't have to go out. Listen, guys like you and me, we're old. We're older. Going out's certainly not as important as it was in our 20s and 30s. And I don't want to get on a whole jaunt here, but I just think it's just more isolating, and it's easier sometimes to sit and watch a clip and get that urge, get that demon out, than actually go out and meet somebody, and it's awkward, and you got to push yourself sometimes. Like, here's what I would say about this, and this has nothing to do with pornography or anything like that. Has there ever been a time where you were going to go out, whether it's through family or friends, or you and me, let's say, and you were like, oh, crap, I don't want to do this. But you went out and you had a good time, and then afterwards you were like, wow, I'm really glad I pushed myself and I went out.
90% of the time, that's what happens. 90%
exactly.
of the time, 90% of the time, I end up going out. I always end up enjoying myself. It's the idea of going out that, like, right now I'm sitting here. It's a little afternoon on a Saturday, and all I want to do is just stay inside here. But I am going out to dinner later, and I know that even though I don't want to, no offense to the people I'm going with, but I don't want to. But once I get there, I know I will have a great time, and I'll be very glad that I went once I come back. I look at that. You know something, Evan? I look at that. I look at that lens through. I look at everything through that lens. Even I feel that way in the morning. By the way, and I'm being serious. When I get up in the morning to go to work, this is the worst possible thing that I could do right now. I do not want to go there. I want to stay here. I am afraid. I am scared. I don't want to do anything. Please don't make me get out of this bed. And then literally once I am walking to the bathroom, it starts getting better. And maybe that's the same kind of thing. It's just, I agree. You get comfortable, and anything that deviates from that is, as you get older, is more of a chore, or looks like more of a chore.
Okay, and so I think that's a great point, and what I would say to you is I think that's a common thing for most people, and you got to push yourself a little bit. There
are some nut jobs out there who just need to go out every single night.
I think more and more people, and I do want to move on, but I think more and more people of this younger generation don't push themselves and prefer to stay home, and literally would go on the dole than actually get out and interact and go to work, and that's anyway, that's that.
You're right.
So,
you're right.
All right, listen, Gru, let's talk about a more fun topic, so to speak. Gru, you've mentioned this
before. More fun than Pornhub?
Well, are you a big McRib fan?
Hell yeah. I love the McRib. I haven't had one in a couple decades, but that thing is phenomenal. It's a death thing.
All right, so Gru, the McSecret is out. A former McDonald's corporate chef turned TikTok star unearthed the ingredients and what's behind them. He put a clip, I guess. I didn't see the actual clip on TikTok.
Don't ruin my
but I read
childhood right now.
So you don't want to hear this? You want to move on?
Kidding. Go ahead. I want to hear it.
All right, so the guy's name is Chef Mike Haraz, and he put a clip on TikTok that was viewed about 200,000 times, and he said basically of the McRib, number 1 ingredient is pork, 2 is water, 3 is salt, 4 is dextrose, which is a sweetener, and 5 is rosemary.
Dextrose?
Dextrose, or maybe it is dextrose. It's a new match in the WWE. It's a death choice match. So he says basically that's it, only 5 ingredients. However, what he did mention was the quality of the actual meat, notably served swimming in sticky sweet barbecue sauce under a pile of onions and pickles. And basically he said, is it whole pork tenderloin to grind? No. They're using scraps, using trims, offcuts from trimming up a pork butt. Regardless of his meaty revelation, it seemed that the TikTok world is still loving it and won't be getting rid of their McRib orders anytime soon. Don't care, still eating it, one wrote. Shocked, another announced sarcastically. Quote, I love the McRib. It's a pork patty smothered in barbecue sauce with some pickles and onions. Goes well with McDonald's fries when fresh and salted right. Gru, you are a McRib guy. Any thoughts on this saucy revelation?
Yeah, big revelation. McDonald's is bad for you. I mean, yeah, it's all it all comes from garbage. You know that when you're eating it. There's nobody who walks into McDonald's and says, "Hey, I was going to go to like the Health Barn, but McDonald's was calling." So it's like, you know that the stuff is taken from the worst stuff on earth. You don't go to McDonald's for that reason. You go to McDonald's because you want some comfort food, or it's not even that much less expensive anymore. But
it is. That's the thing.
It's delicious. It's freaking delicious. What do So every once in a blue moon, I hardly ever go. I never go to McDonald's, hardly ever. But the McRib, the last one I had was when I lived in New Jersey. But I remember how good it was, and I appreciate it.
So, first of all, when we bring back the WrestleMania streak, we will be going to McDonald's night one for our post match.
All this stuff is like the same as a hot dog. Hot dogs are lethal too. So it's the same kind of thing. It's all the worst. I think it's the worst parts from whence they came. It's the same idea. I think
everything in moderation. It's funny you mentioned about the prices, though. I took my nephew. He's at NAU, and I took him up for like orientation session. It's 2 hours Flagstaff from Nick's, and we stopped at McDonald's for breakfast. I said, "Come on," and we ordered two number 3s, like whatever it is, the Egg McMuffin and the little home fries and the coffee. And the guy was like, "a 25." I was like, "Oh, excuse me,"
Yeah,
it's gotten very expensive. McDonald's, you're almost better off going to a restaurant or a higher quality sort of deal and pay $1 or $2 more, and
get
I don't know
service.
But I love McDonald's, and I read a lot about them as a business. I like to read the business, certain business websites, and they're always trying to innovate, and I give them credit for that.
Oh,
stuff
I do
anyway.
too. Their brand is phenomenal, and it's we've been together. I love it. It's just it's something that if you treat it as just that, a treat, a special occasion, that's okay, I think.
Well, Andrew, one brand that is struggling, I think it would be fair to say, over the last year or two would be Marvel. And so last week, Jonathan Majors, who portrays Kang the Conqueror, he was convicted of assault and harassment last week of his former girlfriend, and he was dumped by Marvel Studios. He was cast to be the newest overarching bad guy, Kang the Conqueror. He was already in a couple of films, and he was going to be in upcoming films. He was in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which I thought he was the best part of the movie. Didn't really enjoy that movie too much, but I liked Majors in the movie. He had a big role in Creed 3. He was signed to appear as Kang in the Avengers: The Kang Dynasty in 2026 and Avengers: Secret War in 2027. Gru, it's unclear if Marvel is going to recast the role, which could prove difficult considering the baggage created by Majors, or rewrite the whole deal. Quote, I think his career is over, one longtime Hollywood agent told the New York Post website. Neither Marvel nor Disney commented. Majors Grew was found guilty of assault and harassment of his then-girlfriend, Grace Jabari, inside a hired car in New York City. He faces a year in jail when he is sentenced. Executives at Disney have already shelved another film starring Majors, Major Magazine Dreams, a drama about an aspiring bodybuilder. He was dropped by his publicist, the Letty Company, and his management company, Entertainment 360, before he even went on trial. Let's see here. The article just goes on to say about the poor showing at the box office by Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was partially blamed by Majors' headlining grabbing arrest. I don't buy that. The latest, you do?
I said I don't. I agree with you.
Okay, I didn't. Okay. The latest flick, The Marvels, which opened on November 10th, had the lowest domestic gross of all for Marvel, grew just $47 million in ticket sales. Quote, getting rid of Majors is the least of Disney's problems, adding the insider, noting that Disney CEO Bob Iger has to find a way to reignite Marvel's box office magic. Quote, Disney will be fine. They had to get rid of him. Good for them. I say not good for Jonathan Majors and Marvel. Gru, any thoughts on Majors, Disney, Marvel, and this whole deal?
Now, who did Majors kill?
He didn't kill. He was accused. He was convicted of assault and harassment of his former girlfriend.
Okay.
Did I not make that clear?
I was kind of being facetious. All right. So what he did and got convicted of is a spineless, crappy, terrible, felonious thing to do. That said, I don't know what happened. What happened to let him pay his debt? Why? What? It's like you perceive that you commit a crime, and then all right, so he's found guilty. You're not allowed to work anymore. What happened? I don't know. I'm not buying all. Maybe it's the nature of the crime. Are you there? Can you hear me? Okay.
I can't hear. I'm sorry.
Your picture froze. Your picture froze. I don't know. There's something there. I have two little things. So there's that. I am not in any way saying that he should get a slap on the wrist for what he did. He got convicted, and if it warrants a year in jail, throw him away for a year in jail. But when he gets out of jail, the guy has the right to make a living, to work, and I don't quite understand why. It's like I don't know. Maybe it's just the nature of the crime. I don't know. It's always strange.
Let me play devil's advocate.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I don't disagree with you, but do the companies have a right to not hire him?
Yeah. Well, any company has a right to not hire anybody for any reason. So and I get their aspect of it too. They don't want somebody with this on their record to representing them, especially a company like Disney that sells itself as the family whatever. But it just, you just started, you were rattling off all these things that are happening outside of this case. And I'm like, wow, I've heard murderers get less penalized than that. So,
and I actually agree with you. I think for the most part, because
I'm not a huge fan of his, by the way. I just want to say that.
Well,
got nothing to do with it.
As a person, as an actor.
No, I'm not. I am not. I did not like. You liked his performance in the Avengers in Ant-Man. I couldn't care less about Kang. I actually think it's almost a blessing in disguise that they might have to go a completely different route, because I don't think the whole Kang thing was catching even before this happened. And yes, Marvel is kind of in trouble with its narrative. Yeah, I think the that started with like Apocalypse or something. It just, after Endgame, everything has been, compared to that, and nothing has measured up. So there's that part of it, but then there's the other part of it where I didn't I didn't see what everybody loved about him in Creed 3. So what I'm trying to say is I'm not saying what I'm saying because I'm a fan of Jonathan Majors. I'm saying what I'm saying because it doesn't balance out to me. That's why.
All right.
I could care less about the Kang dynasty.
Okay. Can I respond to your comments?
Yeah. Please do.
Thank you.
Come on. Are you going to talk? Let's go.
Yeah. I'm going to. Okay.
I'm waiting.
Can you hear me?
I'm sitting here waiting patiently.
All right. I have to separate his performance versus the person. So I'll talk about his performance. I think he's an excellent actor, and I've pretty much enjoyed everything in terms of his performance in the movies. Now, I may have not liked the movie. I think his performance was a highlight in Ant-Man vs. Quantumania. I thought he did a great job in Creed 3, and I've not seen Lovecraft County, I believe, which was on Max. So I don't know too much about that. But everything I've seen him in, he's given a very good performance. I think in this one, Hollywood is always going to be on the side of political correctness to a fault. And as soon as there's an avenue for somebody to be dropped, they're going to be dropped. And I didn't like the fact that his management company, they're allowed to do so. His management company and his publicist dropped him before he even went to trial. In terms of this, you have to know a lot about the case. There are a couple of things that are troublesome on both sides. There's video of the girl running out of the car, and there's video of him inside the home claiming that he's a great man. And he compares himself to like Martin Luther King or something like that. But there's actual video of the ex-girlfriend just an hour or two later after the alleged incident, drinking at a bar. The clear video of her drinking at a bar and socializing. So there's I've heard things on both sides. But in terms of blessing in disguise for Marvel, I don't know. I think this whole multiverse thing has just been a mess. Their continual messaging and woke agenda and this kind of stuff, I'll say it, has been a mess. Most people reject it, and I think they just got to get back on point with making good, fun movies with really good bad guys and really great heroes, and that would be my ask of Marvel.
That's what we all want.
There.
That's what we all want.
Yeah, but
I don't think Majors was gonna be that guy to do it. Like in a way,
I don't know which way they were. I just don't know which way they were going with it. I think he could have been a great big bad guy, but we'll never know now. I just think the storyline has just been this multiverse thing. It's just so tough to follow. The last thing Marvel put out was Loki season 2. I did watch most of it, and I did like it. I like the actor who plays Loki. I don't know, he's a British fella. I don't know his name. Tom. Yeah, and it was good. It was good. It went back to just good, fun, bad guy, good guy, and the ending was really strong. So hopefully Marvel will get on track, but I'm not betting on it. There.
Yeah, I agree.
Gru, we're big Billy Joel guys. Billy Joel surprised his fans by performing with his youngest daughters on Tuesday night.
Aww.
He brought out Della Rose. Here we go. Della Rose 8. And Remy Ann on stage to sing a rendition of the holiday classic Jingle Bells at Madison Square Garden. The daughters wore matching green leather dresses for very rare appearance. They sat on Billy's piano. Elvis Costello made a special guest appearance at the show, jamming out to Pump It Up in Allentown. Gru, if you go to the Andy Gruthius page in yellow, page 2, column 2, there's the clip of Elvis and Billy rocking out to Allentown.
All right, here we go.
I want to share it with me so I can see it. Listen to that crisp production. You got to share your screen and sound. Jose.
Will he even moving his hands? I'd rather hear Elvis singing.
Crew, you cut the clip when you've had enough.
All right, I don't need to hear Billy sing. How do I unshare without hanging up on you?
I think you just got to click off share.
Stop sharing. Okay, yeah. Look,
Well, first of all, let's go to just the clip.
Okay,
What'd you think of? Well, go ahead. What'd you think of Elvis playing with Billy?
Well, I mean, Elvis Costello is terrific. I'm not like an Elvis Costello fan, meaning I can't name 5 songs, but I know he's a legend, and he, I've actually seen him sort of. He was in a show that he was played as part of a Springsteen show that I was at. No, he's always great. He's giving it his all. It's Billy Joel who's not really, doesn't seem that enthusiastic about literally anything. I mean, yeah, there's not a whole lot you can do sitting at the piano, but you could do more than that. It's Elvis is standing there. He's going back and forth from the microphone to the guitar, and it's almost like in that last part before I cut it, it was almost like Elvis was expecting Billy Joel to take the verse, and he didn't. So Elvis took it. Like, you got to rehearse these fucking things, guys. Like, Billy is just...
Well, Billy is notorious for not rehearsing.
I know,
and for that,
rock and roll is supposed to be loose. You don't rehearse rock and roll.
I think that's lazy, especially when
you're
doing somebody else's material. I don't know. I look at that clip with Billy and Elvis, and I think 15 years too late. I'm the same way with you, Elvis Costello. I know like 5 songs, and I respect him. Not a fan. Just going back to Billy real quick, we know that he's going to conclude his monthly residency after 150 shows, July of 2024, so relatively soon. He kicked off his residency, grew in January of 2014. A new exhibit at the Long Island Music and Entertainment Hall of Fame. It's called Billy Joel, My Life, A Piano Man's Journey, has opened his more than 50-year career. And let's see, Billy said about it, quote, "I guess I've lived." The one thing I did want to talk about, so his 2 daughters sat on his piano and played, they didn't even sing, they just hit like the triangle, and one just sat there, and I just wanted to get your thoughts on the piano man bringing his very young kids on stage.
I have no problem with
thoughts
that.
On that.
I have no problem with that. I mean, it's a nice thing to do. I just wish he would put that kind of effort into the rest of the show. As he, I mean, it's like I'm looking at that and saying, all right, that's cool, but everything else is exactly like it's been for the last 30 years. And, it's the same comments that we always make. It's just that I don't want that to be the highlight of the show. Oh, yeah, it was a good show, but did you remember when he brought his kids out? Well, you and I would be, if we were walking out of that show, we'd be like, yeah, the only really cool part was when he brought his kids out to the piano. That was nice. But everything else was exactly as it's been over and over again. And yet we still keep paying for it. But
yeah, you know what?
I just don't care anymore.
I as a comment on bringing on the young kids, they're super young. And I'm sorry, I wouldn't do it. I try to keep my kids out of the spotlight until they're old enough. I mean, they're like 8 and 3 or something like that, and they're in matching green dresses. And I hate to say it, but they're like the 2 girls from like The Shining. They just look like completely overwhelmed, sitting in front of a 30,000 seat.
Billy does kind of have
arena.
those bulging eyes there, like those girls.
All right. Well, then I guess.
Well, I was talking to you before about I had YouTubed a front row video of the entire last Madison Square Garden Billy Joel show, from before it starts.
So that was probably before
November.
Elvis Costello, then the one.
Yeah,
Okay.
November. So, and the natural music comes on, and he sits down and he starts playing. And I remember being in the audience, sometimes with you, years and years ago, and just when that music would hit and the lights would go down, the electricity. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching this, and he comes out, and you can't see it listening, but you'll be able to see me. The crowd, you could hear the crowd cheering, but they're not really going crazy. It's just, hey, and he does one of these. He's like, then he sits his fat ass down on the piano, and he stays there, until only the good die young. I mean, that's pretty much, and it's just like, I don't know. If I were in a position to do mediocre work and still get paid millions of dollars to do it, is that the kind of effort that would I be cynical like that? Would I be like, you know what? If these guys are going to pay me to phone it in, why would I work any harder than I have to?
Well, I think you just answered your question.
I'm asking myself if that would be my attitude, and the truth is, I don't know.
I would like to think no. I think that, even with this podcast, Gru and I speak, we have a production call. It's, we don't speak for 6 hours on it, but we try to, think, if you're going to do something, do it well. I don't know. I think, okay, to your point about The Natural, I absolutely agree, because I was in Phoenix and The Natural came out now. It was a very diluted response from the crowd, but also you just had Stevie Nicks play 90 minutes prior, so I don't know if people were a little tired or whatnot. I think there's no room at a rock show to be tired. I mean, it's a fun, joyous occasion. I think that's typical of the Billy Joel crowd, and I think with the residency, it's month after month, and I think it's become more a thing to be seen at than to really hear and enjoy the show. I don't know if you. I don't know if you agree with my comments.
I absolutely. But
I think the Billy Garden crowd is a. And this is nothing bad. I don't put any aspersions on it, but it's it's an upper middle class. It's a high level crowd. The tickets are expensive, and I think it's more about to be seen or to tell your friends at social events that you went to see Billy Joel, and it's less about the hardcore fans of Billy Joel, like myself, like you, and like Craig, who are really interested in the set list and really interested to see the interplay with the band and things like that. That's gone. That's 90s level stuff when you and I went to Billy, and we were, he's definitely coasting. I don't know how he would feel about it, but he's definitely on a coast. It's funny you mention that, because I ran this morning, and on my Apple Music, I just had it on shuffle, and Miami 2017 from the Songs in the Attic came on, and I was saying to myself, that whole classic Angry Young Man, Miami, that's out of his set list now, and it's like, just wish at least one of those songs were back in. But anyway,
that Miami 2017 performance, listen to the passion in his voice. That's long gone. It's passionate. It's long gone.
And you're getting longer, crisper piano solos that have been completely cut out now. The long sort of beginning intro that's been gone for a while. So listen, guy's 70-something years old. Maybe we need to cut him a break. Maybe not.
But you know what? Like I've heard him say, how am I gonna get excited about? Why am I gonna get excited about playing Allentown for the night? Because you're getting paid millions of dollars to do it, and that's what a professional fucking does. But who am I? Just a fan who's paid way more money than he can afford to see the guy.
Yeah. I mean, I think the hard truth is Billy Howard, we're not getting anything different, and just got to either suck it up and enjoy it, or just sort of move to the middle or move on,
Yeah. We can't seem to make a choice, can we?
Oh, and Howard I have.
Yeah, you have.
I've moved on a long time ago. I just I listen to my 20 or 30 clips that I love on YouTube, and that's pretty much what I listen to. And I listen to them because I love them. But the stuff that's going on now, I don't really listen. No,
Yep.
Can't say I do. All right, crew, let me go through this. I thought about going through. I didn't know if I want to get into a long protracted, but I saw this article.
All right, let me play "Leave a Tender Moment Alone" again.
No. But have you heard of the actress Taraji P. Henson?
Yes.
Okay, so she was Wednesday on Gayle King on Sirius XM, and she broke down in tears, claiming she's being paid a fraction of the cost of what she should be making in Hollywood. So she's starring in this new remake of The Color Purple, and she was out there promoting the upcoming film, which is being produced by Gayle King's friend, of course, Oprah Winfrey. Gayle King asked her if she was really serious about previous statements in which she said she was done with acting, to which Taraji P. Henson said she took a deep breath and put her head down before responding, quoting, "I am just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, and getting paid a fraction of the cost. I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over and over. You get tired. I hear people go, you work a lot. Well, I have to. Quote, the math ain't mathing." She goes on to say, you start to work a lot. You have a team, big bills coming with what you do. We don't do this alone. It's a whole team behind us. So when somebody says such and such made $10 million, that didn't make it to their account. Off the top, Uncle Sam is getting 50%. I don't believe Uncle Sam's getting 50, but okay. Now you have $5 million. Then your team is getting 30% off what you gross, not after what Uncle Sam took. Now you do the math. And then she goes on to say, well, I think she said, she was talking about how Brad Pitt and the other girl should get a lot of money because they're big names, but she should be getting as much too. And she said she almost did not take the role in The Color Purple because she wanted to set an example for other black actresses. If I don't take a stand, how am I going to make it easier for Fantasia Barrino and Danielle Brooks and Halle Berry and Felicia? Oh, okay. In 2019, she said she wasn't satisfied with the $100,000 paycheck which she received for David Fincher's The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, which co-starred Brad Pitt and Cate Blanchett. Here's what she said. Excuse me. I want to make this very clear. I'm not saying Brad or Kate shouldn't have gotten what they got. She told Variety, they put asses in seats. Thank you, Jim Ross. So give them the money. They deserve it. I'm not saying they shouldn't get what they're getting. I was just asking for $500,000. That's all. Gru, The Color Purple hits theaters on Christmas Day. And I hate to go on a sort of a heavy downer, but, no shtick. What are your thoughts on what Miss Henson had to say?
Well, let's put it in these terms. If you and I are working for a company, and you have a fiscal year that nets the company $2.3 million. I have a fiscal year that nets the company $700,000. Okay, when the company board gets together deciding who's going to get what, there's a certain amount of money that's available for raises for the following year. Okay, and when they get together and decide who's going to get what, who should get more if one of us had to get more, you or me?
I would say the person who generates more money.
The answer is you. And what she said is absolutely true. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, at that time at least, put asses in seats. Okay, Taraji P. Henson is an incredible actress. In fact, she's the only thing I liked in the Benjamin Button movie. She had a good character. She had a good character, and she made that movie somewhat tolerable. However, nobody's going to see that movie for her. They're going to see it for Brad Pitt. And if Brad Pitt's not in it, it's making half as much as it made. And that's the curse that 99.9% of these actors and actresses have. They have a few people who you say their name and they start printing money, and then there's everybody else. And unfortunately, how much you make, beyond the base salary of whatever the union says, like the minimum or whatever it is, anything beyond that has to be based on what you can generate. And most of the people, even most of the famous ones, are not at that level. And you know what? If you think about like the 80s and maybe even to the early 90s, there are very few of those people left who you can say their name and they can start printing money. You had like Eddie Murphy and Tom Cruise in the 80s who would whatever, and Stallone, who whatever they did was guaranteed $100 million minimum. Okay, there's nobody like that left. Now it's about, tent poles and sequels and all that and all that stuff. The bigger, the better. Very few of these smaller, art films make any money. But as far as, is there a gender pay gap? Yes, there is. And unfortunately, I have to figure out a way to say this correctly.
Go ahead. Okay, because I have some thoughts on what you said.
Right. Historically, men have been more popular attractions in movies than women. Would you agree with that?
I absolutely agree with that.
Is there anything wrong with me saying that?
Nothing in my opinion.
Like, as far as I'm concerned, if Sylvester Stallone and Julia Roberts are headlining a movie, okay, I would, and I had to choose how much of my money was going to each one of them, I would say 90% to Stallone and 10% to Roberts, because Stallone. No, wait. Because Stallone is the reason that I'm there. Stallone is the reason that I'm in the movie. All right, but my point is, I don't know
if I'd go 90-10, but yes, I agree.
But that's me personally. But I'm just saying that the reason that it's unbalanced is because the demand is unbalanced. That makes mathematical sense. It's not based on the quality of work. Unfortunately, that is unfortunate. I will say that is unfortunate. Let me say it again. It's unfortunate that it's not based on the quality of the work. It's based on how much of the work sells. Just like you could paint the most exquisite painting in the entire universe. It could be incredible. Pablo Picasso could come back from the dead and say, this is the greatest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. But if nobody buys it, it's worth jack shit. And you ain't getting nothing for it. And then Howard Stern takes a shit and draws a picture of it, and because it was Howard Stern who painted it, some stupid fan's going to buy it up, and he's going to get $20 million for it. That's the way it works, because he's Howard Stern, and you are Evan Moody. And that's just the way, that's the way art works, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew
All right, go ahead.
He said it probably a lot nicer than me.
Really?
Then I absolutely agree with everything. No, I absolutely. There's nothing I don't disagree with. I mean, it's the same thing with men's sports versus women's sports. And I'm sorry, but when the U.S. Women's World Cup team complains about what they're taking in, and if you look at the actual gross of the men's games versus the women's games and things of that nature, the math ain't mathing. And she kind of lost me there when she went with the math ain't mathing, because she's getting into constructs of gender and race that I'm not going to say never play a role, but I think it's very, very minimal. And I do agree with Andrew. I think, it's really all about the name and who is coming in to see the movie. And even such with her example, let's just say she did make $5 million on a role. And let's just say Uncle Sam took 50% and her team took 30%. She's still taking home well over $1 million. And, I don't feel too sorry for somebody who is getting paid still a pretty, she's crying. And I didn't see the clip, but I saw there's a picture. She's, with Gayle King crying. And, she's clearly making, even if you took the math, well over $1 million. And it's hard for me to feel sorry about somebody who's generating still with your 50% and your 30% and well, and that's how I feel. And
I think she feels. I'm guessing the tears come from either great acting training or the fact that she's feeling disrespected, and I can appreciate that, but that's a reality. Okay, look at wrestling. We love wrestling. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go.
All right, but can I go back to her example though? So she took a role for Benjamin Button. She took the role eventually for the $100,000 paycheck.
That's right.
So I mean, the thing is, there's negotiation, and I don't know, and I don't want to. I can't. I don't know that. I don't know this game, but I know if I'm offered something, I do private tutoring, and they say, well, we'll pay you this for an hour, and I say, will you take, and yes, no, and you negotiate. But ultimately, she took the role, so I don't know.
Okay, here's I'm gonna put an exclamation point on it. Here's how it works. Here's how it works. Okay, you were tutoring. Okay, they don't like the price that you're giving. They go to the next person. They know they're getting pretty much the same thing. Okay, it's a lateral move. It's not. Oh well, we're gonna have to. So let's take Benjamin Button. If Tajiri P. Henson decides not to take that role and they go get. Well, I'm not going to say who they go get because that'll make me sound racist. Okay. But they get a replacement. They needed an older African American woman. So let's say they go get Whoopi Goldberg. Okay, the movie doesn't change. Okay, the movie doesn't change because they replaced Tajiri P. Henson with somebody else. If they replace Brad Pitt, the movie changes. Okay, if Tajiri P. Henson is in a movie with Denzel Washington. Okay, and Tajiri P. Henson doesn't like her paycheck, so they get somebody else. The movie doesn't change. If Denzel Washington doesn't like their paycheck and they go get Terrence Howard, the movie changes. And the box office changes. That's the difference. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying that's just the way. It all depends on what audiences want to see. Now, something about the gender thing and gender sports, you mentioned it, and you brought up a very good point. If women would start watching the sports, their sports, they would be much more popular. There are more women in this country than men. If they would start watching the sports and start attending the games and go, we'll go with you. But you're not. But right now, I'm not interested. Okay, but if
I'm not going to a WNBA game.
No, but
soon, Andrew.
Yeah, well, if Marie said we're going to a WNBA game, you're going to a WNBA game, and that's my point. But if women who are here, if a woman said, well, why aren't people going to the WNBA? Or why? My first question to them would be, can you name 5 players in the WNBA? And if they couldn't, then I'd be like, that's why they don't go. Or that's why they don't watch, okay? Because nobody watches. All right. If you guys would, if people would start patronizing the activity, it would become a thing. But nobody's covering it. Even female sports writers are not writing about it. There's nothing. So what do you want?
Yeah. Well, I do want to say this.
I'm going to hell.
No, I think she's a great actress.
She is.
I loved her in Baby Boy. That's a long time ago, but so that's that. All right, let's move on to something more lighter.
Does she have a GoFundMe now? Is that what we?
Well, we have Andrew. Let's talk about our newest sponsor, our good friends at GetLaid.com.
So we're going to pay some bills.
All right. Sir.
All right,
go to the copy, Andrew.
Yes, okay. Evan, I have a question for you. Have you ever woken up in the morning and you just weren't feeling it that day?
I mean, for me, that's every morning, Andrew.
The sun isn't shining, the birds aren't chirping, the morning wood isn't quite awake yet. The common problems that we have.
Girl, you're pouring my heart out.
Well, have you ever thought about why that is, Evan? Well, like why? What force in the universe makes this so?
Clearly, Andrew, it's because I'm a miserable middle-aged loser. That is true. That is true.
I mean, while evidence shows that may be in fact the case, some studies, Evan, have shown that it's the night before that might have been the problem.
The night before? What is that?
Well, Evan, I'm glad you asked. The night before is all about getting you ready for a night of uninterrupted sleep, save for the 9 or 10 midnight urinary emergencies.
I do have 9 or 10 urinary emergencies. So if I do have these urinary emergencies, will that fix it, Gru?
No, not yet. But they are working on a new formula that does attempt to deal with disposable nighttime colostomy bags. They're working on that.
Oh my God! This sounds like an amazing company. Please, for the love of God!
They're working on the all night colostomy bags. They're just working on the cleanup material.
Oh, okay, Gru. All right, well, let me know, please, because for the love of God, my yearly budget on sheets alone has quadrupled since I've hit 50 years old.
Yeah, I know. Inflation. I get you.
Yeah, I know. Damn Biden. God damn it.
Okay,
Gru, yeah, I'm inflated. I'll tell you that.
Well, we all are, Evan. I mean, we all are. And the good people at getlaidnow.gov certainly will keep you up to date. But until then, Evan, sometimes you just have to get the pipes clean and you don't have time for the nonsense, right? It's all about that in and out lifestyle that makes life worth living. So if you think you're at that moment in your life where it's just getting too boring or complicated and it's getting in the way of you living your best life, don't wait another moment. GetLaidNow.com is where you need to go, come, and then go and leave satisfied.
Gru, how come I've never heard of this before?
Well, Evan, that's because it's not what we in the field call, quote, legal. It's a new company, Evan. And if you have any questions, their headquarters are located on the corner of Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard and Coconut Creek Parkway, Broward County.
Oh, I do know MLK Boulevard and Coconut Creek Parkway quite well.
Oh, I know you know, and you know that I know you know. So hook up with my good friends at getlaidnow.com. Come on down. You make the deposit. We'll make the withdrawal. And you know how most people say, quote, my friends at Better Health or my friends at Guido's Adult Bookstore, but they don't really mean it. Well, we at Nothing Worthwhile can say that the people at Get Laid Now are truly our friends. In fact, just last week, we had one of their great customer service trained mentor team Venmo me bail money. So there you have it.
Hey, Gru, what can I say, Gru? Let's get laid now.
You said it, Evan. And for questions, and we know you have them, email getlaidnow@prodigy.net or call us at 1-900-976-GUNK, G-U-N-K, and send pictures to nothingworthwhile@eskimotube.com. Ask for A.N. Gruthianovitz. We'll see you next time from Get Laid Now.
Get Laid Now, our friends. All right.
Oh, my God.
I think my parole officer is knocking at my door right now.
Oh my God!
Let us in.
Who wrote that nonsense? Anyway.
Now the dogs they think it's Marie heading
Bing bong. Get laid now.
All right, so let's do this. So I'm going to now peruse over to boys. I'm going to peruse over to my TV.
So we're
going to
ready to do our watch along. Sponsored by Get Laid Now.
Hopefully this will work. Let's see.
Prodigy.
All right, I got to go back to. Hang on 1 second, please. I had it all queued up, and then it went to like.
Got frozen.
All right, so Andy, as we revisit this TLC match between Edge and John Cena from WWE Unforgiven, if you have the Peacock app at home, you're going to go to Unforgiven. You're going to go to 2006.
In India, they still have the network, right?
Yeah. Yes, I do. I am aware of that, actually.
I think it works the same way, though.
And then you're going to go to 2 hours, 8 minutes, and 3 seconds, and I'm going to wait for Andrew to count us down, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, so you want to go to 2:08:03. Why don't you pause us right now, get there, so that we can start. So why don't you hit pause right now? Okay, we're back, and we're all at 2:08:03. Everybody should have the SummerSlam logo up on their TV screen, so I'm going to count us down. Evan and I are going to start it, and we'll talk you through this WWE Classic watch along. 3, 2, 1, play. All right, so we got the SummerSlam logo. They're showing us who's that. We got Brass Knucks. Who's hitting them there? That's Edge is hitting them. This is Edge's heel run. Edge knocks him out for the WWE Championship by smacking him in the head with brass knucks.
So, if I could just real quick, Drew, that was in Cena's hometown of Boston. So Edge went over clean.
I forgot about that. Yes,
with a canery. So Cena took a rare loss there in Boston.
Company guy. So now you've got the belt hanging on, and so now they're setting up for the Money in the Bank.
They're setting up for the Unforgiven.
Yeah.
They're just showing us now a visual. We're watching Raw when Cena threw him into the Long Island Sound. That's the Long Island Sound.
Yes.
And Edge comes back and complains about being thrown into the dirty cesspool of the Long Island Sound.
He was a great heel. You need to fire.
So one of the things I know that they did. So looking at Edge's championship belt, he did the Rated R spinner belt, which was to mock Cena's spinner belt. While we're vamping a little bit for time, what'd you think about Cena and the spinner belt? That was really big in the early 2000s. Cena, little bit of the hip hop culture kind of thing. What'd you think of that spinner belt that Cena had?
To be quite honest, I truly don't like that all the different belts. Like, I feel like they could have kept the lineage, and they just chose not to for whatever reason. They probably generated hundreds of millions of dollars by selling all these belts, but I don't like the spinner belt in particular because it takes attention away from stuff. Like it's too fancy. It's a very heel kind of belt. So when he was a heel, it worked, but I'm not a fan of it. No.
Do you like that, Andrew? Do you like that they've sort of, gone back to the more classic designs of the belts and, with the current product?
Yes, I in particular I like Seth Rollins' belt, and I guess I kind of like the new Roman belt. I think the WWE logo is a bit too big on it, but it is what it is. But yes, I like that they're going back to simple designs instead of all this nutty whatever. All right, so there's Edge flying off the. Edge really, he had that spear down, and so now, wow, where was all this? Well, this was a TLC match.
But they're showing Edge. They're showing right now Edge's. History of TLC matches. Right. Okay. Going into this match, Edge had never lost a tables, ladders, and chairs match. So this is part of the build-up was, sort of putting out there Edge's experience in this kind of match. Let me ask you a question. Well,
and this is in Canada, so this is in Edge's hometown.
This is Edge's hometown. So back then, Gru, they're doing the Raw branded pay-per-views and the SmackDown branded pay-per-views while Edge is coming out first. What did you think of? I don't know if you were really watching hardcore at this point.
I wasn't.
But what do you think of them doing? This is the complete brand split, which they've sort of moved from. They still have the brand split, but they have unified pay-per-views. What do you think, or what do you think of that notion of Raw and SmackDown branded pay-per-views?
It seems to be working well. You said pay-per-views. Pay-per-views? No, I think they should all. That should be what's special about them. They're all multi-brand. Even start bringing NXT into it, I think. But the brand split itself, I'm still not a huge fan of. And you know why? For the silliest reason of all. Because on Friday night when I'm watching SmackDown, I'm waiting to see Cody Rhodes, and then on Monday night when I'm watching Raw, I'm waiting to see Roman Reigns. So I want all my stuff I'm greedy like that. But no, I wasn't really watching much at this time.
You don't think that they have enough people now to fund a more true brand? I mean, they got about 12 people that can pop a crowd right now in the WWE.
That's true. That's true. Just maybe there was something off last night, but maybe that's because it wasn't live. It was taped last week for the holiday.
It was taped.
Yeah,
it was taped.
So
didn't see it. Let me ask you this. I'm watching this intro right now on the screen of Edge.
And here's Edge coming in first, the champion.
Right off the bat, I'm not a fan, though. Let me give you my point, because Edge is the champion. He should be coming out second. And I don't like that. I don't know why they stick. That's a tradition I do want in my WWE pay-per-views. That's, the champ comes out second. Why? I don't know. What do you think about that deal?
Well, I agree with you, and so do seemingly everybody else except the people who do it, because the fan base has been clear. Like every podcast and every wrestling show that I hear, everybody complains about this, from Bully Ray to the guys on Going in Raw. All those guys, they always say the same thing. So the fans clearly, want it to, or think it. They don't get it either. Okay, but the WWE, it's not a sport. It's an entertainment. So the bigger star is probably going to come out second. That's just that. Now my question
Speaking
is,
of Cena, Gru.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. Well, I was going to ask.
I was going to ask you.
Go ahead. You ask first.
All right. Looking at Cena's entrance, he's at this point, 2006. He's in his post white boy rapper Marine gimmick. He had starred in the Marine, and he's really on his ascension as the man in the WWE. What do you think about John Cena 2006 post white boy rapper Marine gimmick? What do you think?
It's interesting because he's already starting to. I mean, he's supposed to be the face here. And he's obviously getting that all too familiar mix of boos and cheers. So
I don't even think he's getting a mix. I think the fans are. He's getting that heel response.
Well, yeah. That might be the Canada thing.
He's getting a heel response. That could be, but I think. I mean, the thing about Cena was always. He gets a massive response. So I think that's, if you're the WWE, certainly that's what you want, right?
Absolutely.
You want a response, whether good or bad.
That's why no matter how...
Hit me up.
What? Hit you up with what?
Hit me up with your question. Hit me up. You had a question.
I forgot what it was. But I'll remember.
Lord. But is that short-term memory?
No.
Incoba Baloba.
My question was...
Oh boy!
It was about Cena. It was about stop it. It was about Cena and this time period. Is he? It'll come back to me. Let's go on with the match. So they're doing the obligatory
2006.
Yeah, I mean
2006.
He was
beginnings of the. Hold on. Let me ask you this. I got a question. 2006, beginnings of the Edge rated R superstar gimmick, sort of the cocky, almost with Lita, the it couple in WWE. Edge is almost now like a surfer boy haircut. Rated R superstar gimmick.
Our favorite look for him. Right? Come on.
He was so sexy as
damn right. Look at him, Adam Copeland. Damn. Oh, I know what my question was going to be. What do you think of I know what my question. Let me ask it before I forget it. Okay, my question was going to be: is the WWE, to your knowledge, the only real wrestling promotion that ignores that champion outlast thing? Like, does AEW follow that? I don't
watch. I really don't watch.
Me neither.
AEW,
that's why I don't know. So I
know.
So it's a good. That's a question. That's a good question.
NXT. Since it's a WWE product, they probably do it as well.
I'm sure they do.
I don't know.
All right, so they're locking up.
All right, Brew, you want to? You want to take us to the match?
I see. I still don't like. This is what bothered me, and still almost bothers me about Cena. Like, his fucking underwear is sticking out. Like have some. I always appreciated the traditional wrestling garb. Like even Stone Cold had it for a while. I'm not into this. I never was.
Actually, I'll disagree with you.
That's okay.
All right, let's. Well, I'm going to disagree with you on this one because I think Cena made that look iconic, the jorts.
Yeah,
and I think he's
also.
Also.
Think that looks silly though. Look at him. He looks like he's 12 years old at a 7-Eleven trying to buy a Jewel.
Well, he's coming off. Great line, but he's coming off of that white boy rapper thing. So I think the underwear sticking out, was kind of the look back then.
All right, I'll give you that one.
I think, obviously, they're trying to portray here Cena's strength over Edge. He's already taken him down, but Edge comes back with a slap. Now a little sort of a little turnaround neck breaker to the ring.
And now we're going to get our first ladder, which is conveniently sitting there. We got the chair shot
outside the ring.
Edge hits the pole with a chair, which can hurt. I mean, the vibration. I mean, that reminds me of those aluminum bats at camp. If you hit that ball wrong, I mean, your hands could be buzzing for days. You know that.
It reminds me of those chair shots at the Walmart.
Binghamton, New York, Binghamton Walmart. Yeah. All right, so Edge is getting some offense now, and a nice kind of DDT, impaler DDT.
Yep.
So Edge is going to roll out to the floor. He's going to get some more materials. He throws a chair into the ring. Are we going right for the table? No. He is going to the other side, grabs 2 chairs. So he's now back into the ring. Are we going to see an early concerto? Cena is coming to. Pulls his pants up. Suplex into the double chairs. Cena's going to try to reverse it. Cena gets in a right hook. Now he's going to DDT him on he's whispering to him what he's going to do. I love that move. What do you call that? What's that called? Like an inverted DDT? Like a reverse? So Edge hit...
like Cena's back. Hang on, Cena's back hit those 2 chairs. One thing with Cena with the short hair, he's notorious. He's always seen whispering movesets to the next wrestler. There's so many videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
Cena doesn't have the long hair. It's literally
Austin and Rock had the same problem, though. Austin and Rock had the same problem. You could always see it, especially now. You could always see it. You could see it all the time. That was actually something I learned from watching Maven on his YouTube thing about, somebody asked a question, why do so many wrestlers have long hair? And Maven said the number one reason is so they could communicate in the ring. That's what he said. I knew you'd find that fascinating. I actually watched one of his things yesterday. It was an interesting thing.
Isn't he is he a principal or an assistant principal? I think he's in education, Maven.
I think so. He doesn't really talk about it.
I don't know.
But he talks about interesting things. Yesterday he was talking about the things that a wrestler could do to get themselves in trouble with the boys. So there were things like bringing your friends and family around, or not closing a loop, which I'll explain to you later. Let's watch this match.
I don't want to interrupt, but innovative spot by Edge. He lined up a ladder up against the ring ropes and did a drop kick off the barrier right into Cena's face, the ladder. And Cena clearly has his hands up, but still a pretty cool spot with some cool sound nonetheless.
Yeah. Right in his face. And Edge is really at the top. Well, he's the champion, so he's at really the top of his singles career at this point. Now, I don't know.
I think this is...
where is he in his career prime. At this point? He's on his way down?
I think this is... You didn't let me finish. I said you're at prime, I think prime Edge right here. I think 06 to maybe... 2011, he had a tremendous run.
Yeah.
But I would still say this. I think of Edge, and I'm sorry if people disagree, but I will always think of Edge in terms of Bret Hart, not in terms of personality, even in terms of a CM Punk. They were champions, but I don't put them, when I think of 2006 to, let's say, 2016, it's John Cena. And Edge is on that next level. It's a great level to be at, but I don't put him I don't put him as my A+ champion. I put him as my A-.
And I don't think...
And that's how I see it.
I don't think anybody... There are very few people who would disagree with you. You hear a lot of people talking about that Mount Rushmores of wrestling. Edge is never anywhere really near it. My favorite Edge run, well, you'll hate me for this, was always and will be the Brood. I know he was...
I don't disagree. I said to you before when we were talking about the reference, I did say the Brood, and I don't mean it just for the sexiness. That Brood was such an amazing gimmick, and how they nuanced it afterwards was really great. If anything, I will about Edge and how I feel about him. I think if it best run, put him up higher in my mind than before. I thought he had a great, whether or not it's his final run with WWE, we'll see. But this late run on the last 3 years and some of those well-placed matches definitely enhanced my view of Edge Adam Copeland, because he put on some great matches for the WWE, the last couple of years.
So here we're going to get a...
All right, Gru, we got both.
From the middle rope. Cena is going to...
I don't see Cena doing this, because John, for the most part, was a mat-based guy, so I don't think you're going to see... I don't think, but maybe... I don't know.
Looks like Edge is calling this match. Ooh!
Oh.
They fucked that one up. You don't think he was supposed to go...
Oh, yeah, it's a botch.
Yeah, they botched it up. The good thing about watching this... Yeah, botched it up. The good thing about watching this thing is I don't know who wins. Do you? I don't remember.
I do, but I did not rewatch this, so I'm not going to spoil it.
Ooh,
so we got the botch Gru, and then we see Edge.
Wait, hold on. Did you see that girl?
Yeah.
She was cute.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Edge just power slam Cena through a table. So you got your requisite table spot right here.
Look at that. There you go.
And there you go. If there was one criticism I would say of the branded pay-per-views, was this pay-per-view on the intro looks like a Raw to me. It doesn't feel like a... Now, I actually, in reviewing this Unforgiven, this was a great card. You had DX versus Big Show and the McMahons, and then you also have, this is Trish Stratus's retirement match versus Lita, and so that's so you're getting, this is a great card. When I looked at the opening of the pay-per-view, it just looks like a Raw to me. It doesn't really feel like a... I'm not saying the matches weren't special, but the initial feel just feels like a more loaded Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, well, you got to remember, they didn't have much competition at this time. They were, and their product was not looked upon as very favorable, let's say, as compared to times like today or the Attitude Era. This was kind of like, remember, I'm a hardcore wrestling fan, and I was not watching around this time. So, that's like, this is the product of a company that, kind of like in the mid-1990s when there was no real competition until there was some competition. Now, that does not mean that AEW is true competition for WWE, but now they have to make money. And, it's not like a family business anymore, which it still was, I think, at this time.
Yes, it was. Of course, Gru getting Gru getting in his requisite anti-AEW comment for our podcast. It's not a nothing worthwhile wrestling podcast without Gru bashing AEW.
Well, it wasn't a bash. It was just I don't think the WWE looks at them as competition.
Hold on, let me. Okay, well that's I'm not the WWE has to look at it, but I'm saying they are competition. Now they're nowhere near. It's funny because Mike Rich, the fellow we met at in San Francisco at the last LA, excuse me, LA. We met him at the last Mania. He still texts me from time to time. I think he was like the podcaster we met at the Subway.
That was the Subway guy? Yeah.
He still texts me. Yeah, he texts me and he was like, "You watching TNA Impact?" And I'm like, "I don't even know what network that's on." And I know, for example, now you have a lot of WWE guys that are going to be beyond their 90-day non-competes that are going to be eligible to be signed, like Riddle.
Riddle just signed with somebody.
Like Mustafa Ali. Yeah, they signed with NWW. So if anything, my point is, if one of these lesser-known companies signs a couple of, semi-names from the WWE and puts on a good show, who knows? Maybe AEW will be pressed for the second slot, so to speak. I mean, it's perhaps they're ripe to be taken, and TNA or MLW might be able to get themselves sort of in the mindset of fans as that second alternative to WWE. I agree with you. WWE is the undisputed leader of this business, but there's always jostling for the second spot. I still say AEW is it, but certainly their numbers and their television and their live events have been diluted over the last couple of months for sure.
So Cena and Edge are now toe-to-toe. Cena's got the ladder into Edge's face. Don't mess up that property, John. Come on.
Good thing Edge had his hands up. We don't want.
I said I don't want to.
We don't want.
It's funny.
What is Cena doing here, Gru? We're gonna get.
He's gonna. Yeah, good. He's going. He's going to heel. Attitude adjustment.
Nice. That was different.
Yes.
On the
it wasn't different for 2006 though.
Body. Was it? Oh, I don't think I've ever seen. At that point, a guy. I mean, that's gotta hurt.
Oh,
clearly he's protected, but that's still got to sting. That's metal.
How long after this did Edge have to retire? What year did he retire?
Retired, I believe, in 2012. I believe.
All right, so 6 years later.
I mean, Edge was. Oh, here's John. 5 moves of doom. We're going to get the John Cena
5-knuckle shuffle.
Yeah, well, a lot of wrestling fans call it the 5 moves of doom. That was seen as big criticism that he had 5 moves in his moveset. Here at this point, which I don't think was ever.
What's he looking at? He's looking at the ladder. He realizes. Wait, do you have to pin or do you have to grab the title? You got to grab the title, right?
Got to grab the title. Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to see a 5-knuckle shuffle off of the ladder. Looks like
big mistake.
Oh!
He should have went for that title. Why? He just needs to get the crowd pop. That's going to be the undoing of John Cena. He's always got to go for that crowd pop. He got a clear line of sight to that title. He could have won the match. We could have been home. But no.
No joking aside, no shtick. Would you say that's always a criticism of matches like this with weapons? You could go put a guy through, a 6-table stack instead to get the pop.
It's a faux. It's a faux
what I'm saying
criticism.
With these matches, typically, it's the strategy is not always consistent. Obviously.
Yeah, but it's a faux criticism because we can criticize that as purists, but we could also say we'd still rather see people smashing through tables than the more of this, the better. So the more violence and bloodshed.
Actually handed.
Yeah, he handed him. I've never seen that before. I have never seen that before.
Wow.
The referee handed Edge the chair, and Edge.
You sure did.
Edge is acting a little overacting here, or is he?
Well, he does. Cocky.
Does he do the flare thing here?
Cocky head swirl back.
Or
no, but he did that cocky head swirl. That was part of his gimmick in the Rated R days. Cena taking an unprotected shot right to the head.
Yeah.
We don't see that, of course, anymore in the WWE, but it tells you how old this match is.
Yeah.
All right, so Johnny's on the table.
Out on the gurney. Edge is no, he was going to climb up. Now he's going underneath. What else is there? More tables? There's one right there, Edge. Why'd you have to go for the one underneath? That was silly. Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, of course, another faux criticism. I have a new term, faux criticism. John, at least put both legs on the table, please.
Now, this is cool.
Oh!
Now, forgive me for not knowing this, but at this point, was there only one heavyweight title between the two brands?
Yes.
Or was there a SmackDown and Raw champion?
I believe...
This is the title that they're fighting for?
I believe so at this point.
Ooh. Edge takes a nice bump, getting knocked down off the top by Cena, hitting his face into the very... Ooh, wait a minute.
Oh, hey now.
Yeah.
Hey now.
Lost my train of thought there. Those are very unforgiving
Look at Cena,
guardrails.
Bruce.
They
could be.
Oof.
I mean,
makes it look good.
Think about the athleticism. Yeah, he sure does.
It's one thing to be able to do it without getting killed. It's one thing to be able to do it without getting killed. It's another thing to be able to do it without getting killed and making it look good. That's why these guys are so good.
Yeah. I mean, clearly, Edge, when you watch this match and you know what happens to Edge, clearly his body took a significant drubbing being a pro wrestler and then specializing in these kind of matches. I mean, these matches have to be just brutal on the body.
Isn't it kind of the same trajectory as HBK? He had to leave for a while because he had to get back surgery, and then miraculously he had another 4 or 5 year run.
Well, I guess you can make a comparison. I know that Michael's back injury was a spot against the Undertaker in the mid '90s, where he got over the ring rope and he hit the back of a casket. It was like a casket match.
Yeah.
And, he completely threw his back out, and he was basically on pain meds and just gutted it out versus Stone Cold at that WrestleMania where he lost the belt. I think Edge's. I think there was a certain spot that did him in. I want to say it was versus Alberto Del Rio for the title, but Edge obviously, his specialty was this kind of match.
That guy's notorious for hurting people, isn't he?
Yeah, well, he's just a bad guy overall. He's a guy that I don't think the WWE will ever bring back. So,
All right, so here we are.
All right, we got ladders. We got a 2-table stack in the ring, Gru. Where are we going?
We got carnage in the ring. Somebody is going from the top of the ladder through those double stack tables. It's got to be Edge. No way Cena is taking that bump. Edge is definitely going through those tables because Edge is now climbing up the ladder to get the title. Cena is rising to his feet. He hasn't yet realized that Edge, now he turns around and sees, Edge does a little flying body press off of the ladder, but gets caught in midair.
Nice. Look at the strength of John Cena.
Cena now is putting him onto the ladder.
Oh!
Now he's, powerbomb here?
Sexy.
Oof.
It looks like it, yeah.
Like a powerbomb into the ladder. Doesn't quite make sense, but for these purposes, that's about it.
And now the referee conveniently pulling the second ladder out of the ring. Cena is just
equipment manager.
Cena is just a powerhouse, though. I don't think I've watched a lot of videos of John Cena working out in his prime. This guy was just a beast in the gym. I mean, could no joke squat 500 pounds, no gimmick, just deep squat. I mean, this guy He is a power lifter. He's quite the athlete. I believe he played Division III college football.
So what you're saying is he's not exactly
this is really
Moondog's spot.
No, he's not. He doesn't have the big belly barrel chest with the cigar, no.
It's not like a 12 case of beer every night kind of thing for John Cena. It's more like
but you could see
protein shake in bed by 9:30.
When we started. No, but you could see where the sport or the entertainment has gone when we started watching it in the late 70s, early 80s. Guys like Moondog Spot, the Crusher, that was sort of the norm, and then it moved to Hulk Hogan and very much superhero type bodies. All right,
Cena's got his hands on the title. Is he going to get it? Edge. Oh, who's this? That's Lita, right?
Oh, Lita!
Lita and Cena going down to the floor via the table. Ooh, and the crowd's in shock. Oh, I'll comfort you. There's
Great
Lita.
spot.
Oh, my God, Lita, I love you. Where's our picture with Lita?
Oh, God, does she look beautiful there?
Where's our picture with Lita? I got to find it. Did we get that? We got to get that sign.
Girl, is that not?
Oh, my God. Stay right there. Don't even move. Don't even move.
Girl, is that not prime Lita right there?
It's absolutely
come on.
prime Lita.
Look how beautiful she is.
It's before both shoulders were tatted up.
Pre Pornhub show.
Yeah. She was getting off to a good little post prime run, and then just kind of disappeared and left it to Trish.
Well,
so Edge is now,
Trish is. I would just say this real quickly. Trish retires after this match. We know Trish comes back, but I think Lita retires.
No, but I mean when Lita
maybe a year or two later.
But I mean like this year when Lita and Trish kind of had their thing going. I thought Lita was going to stick around a little bit like Trish did, but all right. So now Edge is climbing up.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, I see Edge is climbing up the ladder. He's either going to go after the title. I predict those tables are not going to go to waste. So someone's going through them, and I think it's going to be Edge here. Cena is rising. He's using the tables to help him rise. He's inching towards the ladder. Edge is going to... There's Lita! Was that Lita? Or is that Ios? Nope, there.
Oh, nice spot right here, Group.
Big spot, yeah.
Oh, nice spot. Look at that.
Through the paper table.
I mean,
Oh.
Well, but the folks at the WWE, how they... Oh, wow, this Lita looks so delicious.
Oh, God. Does she have a point?
Well, just think how they're... I mean, all...
Thank God nobody listens to this because we get so much trouble.
Well, that's really good, though. We admit nobody listens to this podcast that I put 9 pages of notes. There's...
Lita's going to get an attitude adjustment. Or no. Yeah.
Out the ring.
Wow. All right, so now Cena is alone in the ring.
I know that back here, Pat Patterson was really the guy that called the big matches, and I just think the way they run spots still is so brilliant. I mean, the chair.
I will say this, though.
The momentum takes him into the ladder.
But this is silly here. Because Edge is out on the side, he should be just going up to get the title. Then if you want to have violence, have it post-match. But it just doesn't see now he was, but I know he was giving Edge time to get back up. So it was obviously a little bit of a screw up. The timing.
All right, well, there's your full criticism. I mean, obviously, well, I think,
Well, don't you agree?
You better hope Edge can get up, and I do agree. It's always a criticism.
Yeah, there he is. There it is.
I think there he is.
Cena's going to go through the
this
tables.
Looks like it's going to be the.
Edge is climbing up.
Clearly, we're at the final point of the match here. Both combatants at the top of the ladder.
You said final
Give
point.
us the call,
I wouldn't have known. All right, Edge and Cena are trading blows at the top of the ladder, just a mere inches away from that title. Both have their left hand on the title now that both their hands are off. Cena has Edge up for an attitude adjustment. Is he going to do it off the ladder, onto the table? Yes! Cena! Attitude adjustment on the table! Cena's going to be the champion! Cena's going to win! He's going to win! But now he's just sitting there, shaking his head. All right, grab the title. There we go. Take the fucking thing!
No, I think Cena does a great job.
There you go, attaboy.
Well,
John Cena wins.
I know you want. I know you want to poo-poo it, but I think he was great here with emoting. Well, I think he knows he has the match won, but I love the little pause where he has his shoulders down, like you could see the pain that he's been through, and he's kind of letting the crowd know, hey, we just went to hell and back here, and I think he does a great job here. I mean, this was a classic rivalry for its day.
John Cena is the best there is. You can't. I mean, there's.
Okay.
I can't say anything.
The
only faux criticism I have is sometimes he gets a little hammy, but that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes he overdoes it, but so did Hulk Hogan. So did Savage. Nobody overdid it more than Savage. So you can't even criticize. It's just a different era.
I love the spot here. He's hugging his dad. I mean, I love that.
I do too.
That gives me a Rocky feel. The dad was involved.
A Woody feel? A Rocket? What?
When he wants to be serious, he's serious. But the dad was part of the storyline. Edge slaps the dad at one point. In the build up to the storyline. So I like the spot with the dad. And again, it also Vince. And I think it's a criticism and perhaps a little bit of both. Now you have Cena beating Edge cleanly in Edge's hometown.
Yeah.
So, I think, they're trying to book it very sort of, you never know what's happening here.
How do
you get the shot of Cena?
Look at this.
Let's take a look at this big spot right here. Oh, a couple of the big spots. Look at this bump right here. Cena through I think Cena got caught. I think his tailbone was low. Then we get the chair into Edge.
Got caught too. That didn't look too clean for Edge either.
That lip to the ladder.
God, these guys have the biggest balls.
That came off clean.
Did I say that out loud?
As we're looking at the replays, Gru, as we close out the pay-per-view, what are your thoughts on the match? And if you want to go 0 out of 4, what would you give Unforgiven main event Edge versus Cena TLC? What are you going to give it?
I'd give that match 3.5 out of 4. I thought it was a non-stop match. It never had a dull moment. The only reason I don't give it a full 4 is for the couple of faux criticisms. Couple of the botches, but it holds up absolutely. Both guys are absolutely in their prime. They do a great job. They sell everything beautifully. Edge, I was surprised how young Edge really looks there. Compared to today, like he looks like a teenager in that match. I loved Lita's look. You give me Lita 24/7, the Lita network, wherever Lita's cereal, I'll buy it. Whatever, just give me more Lita. It doesn't matter. But Lita's role in the whole thing, more than just eye candy. But you can't denounce the eye candy. But she was great. Everything seemed to work. I still love that ref handing the chair to Cena. That's like a Tom Brady moment right there. But it was a great match. It was just, I wasn't even looking at I couldn't take my eyes off it. And that is saying something for somebody who was not really interested in the product at that time. So I give that 3.5 out of 4. Terrific. What about you?
I think I would go either 3.5 or 3 3/4. I agree with you. I think that the match and the lead up. They told a great story, sort of the stoic champ versus the arrogant heel. I think both guys are in, sort of in their prime. Edge, for sure. I think Cena's rounding into his prime right here. You watch that match, you're seeing, I think this match, whether it's the anointing, but this feels like, John Cena. I remember when Cena beat Shawn Michaels at Mania, and I said to myself, because he had beaten Triple H the year prior, and then when he beat Michaels at the Silverdome, the Lions, wherever, the Enormo Dome, it was like, Cena's the man here. I thought they told a great story. I thought for the most part the uses of the weapons and the tables and whatnot was pretty innovative for its time. Yeah, I think you could strategize and look at it and give some, as Guru likes to call it, faux criticisms. But overall, I think this is, if you were looking at this point, Cena or even Edge, picking top matches, I think this match has to be in both guys' arsenal. I think, this was well laid out and great use of Lita, like you said. Very, very, very few complaints.
Yeah, I agree, and I love your Spinal Tap reference there. We're playing the Enormo Dome, whatever it is, 100,000, sold it out. No big deal.
Yeah, that's a movie. That's a movie. That's a movie we're going to have to cover for a future Nothing Worthwhile podcast.
They're making a sequel, right?
I don't know that, and I'm very hesitant.
Now you do. They're actually starting to film the sequel.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I agree.
I would say, knowing those guys, they're veterans of comedy. They should put forth, but I just don't know. Why sometimes they don't just leave well enough alone. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
it's tough.
We'll see.
It's tough to duplicate a classic of that caliber. So, but hey, we're running out of things that we love. But speaking of that,
yes, do you want me to?
I don't know. No, I thought. Are we? Where are we?
Oh boy, where are we?
No, I mean
nothing. Nowhere else on Nothing Worthwhile. You're going to get scintillating commentary from your podcast host going. Where the Going in Raw guys are laughing at us right now.
No, I thought it was a good segue into what are we watching. Is that
all right?
Next thing?
Well, Gru, you want to ask me, or you want to ask me what I'm watching?
You go first this time. You always ask me first.
All right,
so I want you to go first, Evan. There's a lot of choices on television these days.
There sure is,
and it's very difficult with the limited time that we have to be able to pick and choose. So we have to choose wisely because we don't want our time wasted. So each week we ask each other to pick something that is not Nothing Worthwhile. So Evan, what are you watching this week?
I am watching on Max Bookie, starring Sebastian Maniscalco. It is return of Chuck Lorre to television, and none other than Charlie Sheen shows up in a recurring cameo role.
Winning,
and it's absolutely the best episodic television since the Stallone Tulsa Kings. I'm not a huge fan of episodic television at this point. I pretty much most of my time is spent watching wrestling and shitty, crappy reality shows with women with fake boobs. But if an episodic television gets me, then I think it's a real quality product. Always liked Chuck Lorre, 2.5 Men. Some of the other stuff, not so much. But here you have Sebastian Maniscalco in a perfect role for him. Mid-level bookie who's trying to figure out the gambling deal in a world of online gambling websites, and it's in 2023 you can't break legs anymore, and Ray Romano has a great cameo, but Charlie Sheen plays himself, who's running card games out of rehab, and he's one of Sebastian Maniscalco's clients. Really super well done. I'm a big fan of Sebastian Maniscalco. I got to see him live while I lived in Florida at a comedy club. So I cannot give it enough. Made me laugh. Marie started watching it with me. Bookie, on Max, Chuck Lorre, Sebastian Maniscalco. That's what I'm watching this week, Andrew.
Well, Chuck Lorre picks nothing but winners, so I will I'll check that out. That sounds great.
I know you would love it too. You would love it too.
Well, this might be a first because what I'm watching this week also happens to star Sebastian Maniscalco and Ray Romano. And it is a movie on the Hulu app entitled Somewhere in Queens. It just came out, I think, a couple of weeks ago. Ray Romano, it's his directorial debut. He and Laurie Metcalf from Roseanne fame play an Italian couple in a big Italian family, blue collar, Queens, working class. The son is a basketball star, and Ray is the big, like basketball is life kind of parent, and it's really a story about how Ray Romano's actions to sort of push his son towards this basketball dream just to sort of get him out of the family funk that he sees as the movie is based on adages from Rocky.
Oh boy.
It's tough to explain. It's a real slice of life. It's New York through and through. Tony LoBianco is in it. He's great as the family patriarch. It's it's just this old school Italian family trying to like figure out what its way through this blue collar life in today's society. So it's really, really good. What?
Go ahead, Andrew.
What?
Go ahead, Andrew. Please finish. I said finish.
I just did.
Go ahead.
I just did. It's terrific. I think you would like it.
It does sound. It does sound like something I watch. I say to Andy, listen, on the one thing we're watching this week, it's a light, breezy, like just give a couple of sentences, and Andy's, he did the sole hopes of the Italian family. This poor young man's shoulders. Think Iliad minus the Odyssey with a touch of Parmesan. With a touch of Parmesan cheese.
Yeah, with a touch of manicotti and Dijon.
That does sound right up my alley, and I actually just like I said, I'll have plenty of time off. I think I will probably check out that movie. It sounds like something I would like to see.
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
Speaking of which, Andrew, for our next episode of Nothing Worthwhile, it's going to be 2024. Gru and I will be celebrating the new year with our Nothing Worthwhile New Year's resolutions. What does Moody and Gru hope for 2024? We'll give you our New Year's resolutions for movies, television, music, WWE, and maybe we'll even do the last of the action heroes, something we want from one of our veteran guys in 2024. Okay. Check us out in 2024 for our Nothing Worthwhile New Year's resolutions. We did ask, of course, my line to you was, Gru, any general New Year's resolutions for you, but you basically said no. So nonetheless.
What about you? What about you?
Do I have any resolutions? No, I'm just trying to get myself into the best shape possible for the wedding. And no, personally or professionally, no. Those were maybe 10 years ago at 53.
So all of a sudden what I said makes sense. I'm just trying to hang on
for dear life.
I'm
just trying to hang on for dear life at this point.
That's great. I'm just hanging on for dear life. That's a great campaign slogan. You and I should run for office. We should be like co-senators or something. We're hanging on for dear life. That's our slogan.
That's it. Yeah. Gru, for our next episode of Van Damme It, we'll be back. We're going to check out our guy, Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's 2001's Replicant. Jean-Claude is back in the new millennium with another dual role. Two people. Where have we heard that before with Jean-Claude? Scientists create a genetic clone of a serial killer in order to help catch the killer. Andrew Gruthius, Replicant?
Sounds to me like it's Silence of the Lambs divided by Blade Runner equals Replicant. But
it's funny you mentioned Replicant, Blade Runner, because I definitely, the synopsis of the movie, it does feel like
the title of the movie.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, I mean,
but before you told me about it a couple weeks ago, I've never even heard of this one. So,
unfortunately, this feels like we're in the Van Damme slide,
the direct to 8-track period.
That could be.
Hey,
yeah.
Some of these, there are some hidden gems in there. You know.
Yeah, it's like, you go to a pawn shop to get like hedge clip, like a lock cutter, and then you're like, oh wait, you go into the DVDs, you're like, I want to get a Time Cop 3.
Oh look, Midnight Madness from 1981, Michael J. Fox. Wow, only 99 cents with a car wash.
Hey, why not take a ride on it? So,
damn right.
Well, Andrew, I am wishing you a very post Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I'm sure we will speak well prior. We got a lot of stuff to look forward to in the new year, and that's it.
Yeah, well, 2024 is nothing but net for us because we are starting off on day one with day one. It's got nothing to do with nothing worthwhile, but it's at least something to watch when everybody else is out partying and we're doing absolutely nothing because that's what we like to do. And that's the way we do it here at Nothing Worthwhile. Remember, getlaidnow.gov. All right, make sure you set yourself up for both Christmas and New Year's. Let's try not to jump off the roof this year. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, why are you looking at me like that?
Do we have to put a disclaimer like they always do? If you have thoughts of depression and suicide, please call 1-800 blah 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 blah.
Well, before we're required to do that, we better end this.
We wish everybody out there. Wish everybody Happy New Year's. Group, take us out of here, please.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us today on this watch along Cena vs. Edge from 2006 Unforgiven. It was as fun for you as it was for me and as it was for Mr. Moody here. We had a great time.
Enjoy it.
And we couldn't do it without you out there, all three of you. So please continue to enjoy, love, like, and subscribe. Buy the merch, send the money, and go to getlaidnow.gov. Please, we're desperate. But ladies and gentlemen, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. Please enjoy, be safe, be healthy, be happy. We'll see you next time on Nothing Worthwhile when we are going to be making our New Year's resolution. And until then, 1, 2, 3.
Quack, quack. See ya.